and Yajong to each and every one of you. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you how to make a pork and chive dumpling in celebration of the Lunar New Year. So for those who celebrate Lunar New Year, Happy New Year to you all. There's a lot of great recipes out there that shows you how to make dumplings, but today I'm just going to show you my version, my go-to recipe that I love to make for my family. And it's actually really easy to make, and with good practice you can probably make dumplings really easily. So with that being said, let's just get to it and I'll show you how to make my go-to pork and chive dumplings. Let's go. Let's start with the filling. So I am doing a pork and chive dumpling filling. So in this bowl I'm going to add in some ground pork, and this is pretty much a 25% to 30% fat ratio of pork, just to give it that really nice juiciness when you cook it. And this is about a pound of ground pork. We're also going to add in some minced ginger. We're also going to add in chopped chives here. That's roughly around 2 ounces, or about a heaping half cup. And some bok choy. This is bok choy that I have chopped up, and what I did with this was I just halved the bok choy, rinse it really well, and then we're going to blanch it in boiling water for about 1 or 2 minutes just to wilt it a little bit. And then we're going to drain the hot liquid, run it through cold water just so that you can handle it. Squeeze out any excess water really well, and then bring it back to your cutting board and just mince it up really fine like this. And this is what you get. It should be relatively drier, so squeeze most of the liquid out just so that we have control over the moisture of the filling. Seasoning wise is really simple, and the great thing about making dumplings or Potstickers in general is the filling is very versatile. You can add your favorite vegetables, your favorite meat, but when it comes to seasoning, this is my favorite way to season it. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of chicken seasoning powder. I have a teaspoon of sugar. I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of water. I have a tablespoon of soy sauce. 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of Shaoxing wine. So I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon. It depends on you. I start with 2 teaspoons. I'm adding about a tablespoon just because I like that flavor. And Shaoxing wine, if you were curious, this is what the bottle looks like. You can find it at your local Asian grocery store. They probably have this. And we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And a tablespoon of sesame oil. And the last thing is some white pepper. You can add as much as you want. Start with about half a teaspoon of white pepper. I like to go about a teaspoon just because I really like that white pepper flavor, but it's really up to you. This is fresh cracked white pepper. You can also use black pepper if you don't have white pepper. And that's it for the filling. Go ahead and mix this really well. Mix this for about 30 seconds to a minute, and you want to massage it, knead it really well as well. Now here comes the most probably intimidating part for most people, which is to wrap the dumplings. And I found it with a lot of practice, it's actually really easy. So the wrapper that I'm using here is a dumpling wrapper. So make sure you get dumpling wrappers. It should be labeled dumpling wrappers. Don't get the wonton wrappers because they're a lot thinner and they're specifically used to only make wonton. So texturally they're a little bit different. And if you go to your local Asian grocery store, they are going to have a wide varieties of different wrappers, so make sure you read the labels. And I bought 4 different kinds, and I realized that 4 of these work just great. So today I'm going to be trying the northern style dumpling wrappers and see how it works out, but I tried the other 3 and they are perfectly great for this recipe. In terms of different kinds and styles, they're kind of just, you know, texturally different, sizing and thickness, so it's nice thickness for me. So here I have my filling, the dumpling wrapper, and a bowl of water so that I can help seal the wrapper. There are a lot of different ways to fold dumplings or Potstickers. I'm just going to show you 2 different ways. I'm totally not an expert. I've been practicing this so that I can get used to it, get a feel of how to fold it into a nice crescent shape. So we're gonna take one of the wrappers and we're gonna dab our fingers into the water, and we're gonna do the top and a little bit on the bottom. And we're gonna take about pretty shy of a tablespoon of the filling. Don't overfill it, because if you do, it might be a little harder to wrap it properly. You're gonna take one end here, take it to the top, seal it, and if you want to do pleats, this is a good time to do pleats. But before you do pleats, make sure these two ends here are nice and open and your filling is nice and tucked in. It depends on you. Some people do pleats from the front here, some people do it from the back. I like doing it from the back. So I'm gonna take this and just fold it into the center, press it, take another, fold and press, and I do about 3 pleats per side. Okay, and do it again and press and seal, and that's one side here. And you do that to the other side as well. So you do 1 pleat here, fold and press, another side, another pleat, so 3 pleats total, press and sealed. And as you do that, you should get a really nice crescent shape like this. And then this is what it looks like here. So this does take practice. It took me a while to get it to, but it does look really, really nice. And as long as you have this really nice crescent shape and the bottom is nice and rounded and flat, that means you did a good job, because this has somewhere to sit to fry and cook, which is really nice. Yay! Now I found this version a lot easier. It's a lot less time consuming. The first folding, if you have time, definitely do the pleats, but this version is a lot easier. So same thing, I'm gonna coat the bottom and the top edges with water, and the filling, and same thing, we're gonna take the bottom part here, bring it to the top and seal it. Okay, and now I'm going to do a little curve with my hands, which is to bring this part here of this wrapper, and we're going to bring it to the top and close this with our thumb really well. Okay, same thing, we're going to bring this, fold it over. This part here takes practice. This took me a little bit to get used to the hand motion, but once you do that, just go ahead and seal it really well. And when you turn this way, it looks like this. And it still has a really nice crescent shape as well. So as long as you fold this and it has a nice crescent shape, you are good to go. And this does take practice, so if you can't get it the first time, keep trying. You'll get it eventually. So I'll show you that again so that you can get a feel of it. Once you're done wrapping the dumplings, I like to have a sheet tray lined with either a salt pat or parchment paper, and just place your dumplings, line it up really nice here, and finish the rest of the dumplings. And here we have it. So these are all our dumplings. We got a total of about 39. There's 39 wrappers in that whole pack. I still have a little bit of the filling left over, which will probably make around maybe 10 or 15 more. So if you want, you could buy another pack of the wrappers, but I'm just gonna go with this. But once you're done, if you're not gonna cook it right away, just stick it in the freezer until it's nice and solid, and then store it in a Ziploc bag or a container for whenever you wanna cook it up. Other than that, we're pretty much done. You can cook it to your preference. You can boil it, pan fry it, steam it, up to you. So to pan fry the dumpling or Potstickers, it's actually really easy. I'm going to add in a little bit of oil to a really nice non-stick pan. Temperature wise, it should be at medium high, not extremely high, or else you're going to burn the bottom. And we're going to line the dumplings side by side, but make sure they don't touch. So basically what we're doing at this point is we're just browning the bottom so it looks like this. It's ready to go with some water. So I'm going to turn down the heat. We're going to add some water. Make sure you have a lid next to you. Close it and let this steam for a good 4 to 5 minutes until most of the water has evaporated. So we'll keep that closed. Okay, it's been a good 4 minutes of steaming this. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So we're just going to crisp the bottom up a little bit since we did steam it with water. It looks like it's cooking up nicely, so a lot of the water has evaporated. Let's take a look at the middle one. Yay, it's nice and crispy. Now if you want to make this look extra pretty, I'm going to put a plate over this and carefully flip it over. Woo. So to make the dipping sauce, I have 1 clove of garlic chopped. I'm going to add a tablespoon of water and a tablespoon of light soy sauce. This is low sodium soy sauce. And I'm going to do about 2 teaspoons of your favorite chili oil or fried chili in oil. So I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of that actually. And I'm going to do a teaspoon of vinegar. And the vinegar I'm using is this Chinese vinegar here. And it's pretty strong. If you're not accustomed to it, you might not be familiar or acquired to the taste. So you can use regular white distilled vinegar if you want. But this one's really good for dumplings if you are used to this flavor. I don't like much in there. I'll just do about a teaspoon of that in there. If you want a little bit more extra, feel free to add more. And I'm going to do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of sugar. Give this a good mix. And this is totally optional, but I like to add a little bit of sesame seeds in there for looks. And finish it with a little bit of green onions. And that's pretty much it. And as for the boiled one, I just boil it in water for about 5 minutes. Strain it and then place it on a plate. For the boiled dumplings, I kind of like to eat it plain as it is. If you want, you can definitely eat it with some soy sauce or chili oil or the dipping sauce that I showed you earlier. But another way that I really like to eat it too is with some just plain chili crisp oil here. And I'm putting the one that I made over it. If you want to know how to make that chili oil, I'll put the link down below for you to check it out. But just put this over as much as you like. If you want, you can add a little soy sauce, a little bit of vinegar, but I kind of like the simplicity of just a chili oil over it. And some chopped cilantro and green onions. And that's it for this one. This one's probably one of my favorite ways to eat it, but the pan fried one is also very good.